Okay, we are live, I think.
All right. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, a lot better.
All right. Well, let's see. I sent Evan a message to see if he's coming today. I haven't heard back yet.
All right, I moved us back to the main title screen so people can see. And then you can move us to which map you want to. Did you clear off the GM pool?
Yeah, let me do that real quick.
So it looks like we got Engiver. Where'd Kit Cam go? Oh yeah, she's still there. It's Kit Cam's still there, and then Mike, and then Necro's here at least. There's at least 3 of us.
All right. So dice pool is cleared, and I will roll up obligation using the table that we used last time. So I guess
Sounds good. I'll roll a light side point then. Or I'll roll a destiny point. We'll see if it's light side. Oh! It was double.
All right. So a 16. Let me see what that is on my table. 16 is Wah.
All right. So I get 1 strain instead of 2 strain used up.
Wall's not here today, though.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So you guys.
He's in our group still.
He seems a little preoccupied, so he'll be less active.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was. I guess he didn't do his homework, so
Sounds like my kids.
he should have did it yesterday. Oh well.
Sounds like my kids.
All right, so go ahead and move us to the map. I guess we'll be on.
All right, so let's see.
So
I should really,
while
I should really move the map closer. Here we go. I think this is the right one. Nope, that's the other city part map. I want the one that's in Japan. This one, because it has the. So you guys were talking about going into the Department of Labor offices that night, or like a later night.
that
You have
night,
about 2 days before. 2 days before Jakel's legitimate security shift starts, if he's going in as that person, or if you guys are changing employment records, it might be sooner or later.
my character has 3 ranks of technical aptitude, so he can actually. I mean, I'm assuming this is early in the day, so he has plenty of time to make the program and build the data spike during the day. If you guys want to go in tonight.
Yeah, that worked for me. I planned on bringing my droid along to assist since we had agreed that I would try to sneak in and get it planted.
Okay, so we have the 3 of you guys. Will say that Wa and Jakel are doing some reconnaissance runs throughout the city for various kind of fallback positions, escape routes, stuff like that. So they're not currently with you guys helping out. So it'll be down to Engiver, Necro, and Ketcam to carry out this part of the plan.
And Necro has. I've done some rolls in chat for the session beforehand, so I went ahead and encrypted the. I went ahead and encrypted my little hidden camera here. So if you Kit Cam or your droid would like to wear this, then I would have eyes on the building and I can help give instruction. Maybe your droid, I can give it instruction to help give it some boost if you need your droid to do anything.
Are we trying to sneak back in and retrieve the thing, I guess, now?
So Kit Cam swiped a code cylinder to get into the building. So the sooner we use that, the better, because if they can't find it after a full 24-hour period, they're probably going to change the code. So we might as well use it as soon as possible, and then just leave the code cylinder in there after we leave, and then none will be the wiser. So
So this is a stealth mission. I'd rather bring my stealth droid with me.
All right. Well, I'm staying back, and I'm going to be remote since I made a data spike to do the job that I would do, and anyone could just plug it in there, and I hooked it up to a 3-mile comm, so I can remotely do it within a planetary medium range, which is a long ways away. So I could actually be from our apartment and do it, or our hotel.
So I'm fine with. I just want to check in and make sure I'm not stepping on the toes of what our roles for NPCs are. I'm fine with you guys using, as long as you stay consistent within the encounter, switching between NPCs between encounters. I don't know if that's how we do it by session or by encounter.
We said session. I mean, not session. We said encounter, like only
Okay.
one NPC. But my character, just to make it easier and not step on anyone's toes, I just brought the hacker droid since no one else has any slicing capabilities. So that way he can just be hyper focused on that, doing all the computer stuff, and that way everyone else can do their other roles.
Yeah, if you're doing any sneaking around, that's why I would have switched out. Because the one's for lying, and then this other one's like I said, for sneaking around. He's got really good stealth equipment to help him get through stuff a lot easier. That's why I would bring him if that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as we're keeping consistent within the encounter, I'm fine with. As long as like between encounters, you can go back to your ship and switch out or whatever. But
So, and Guyver, you actually got some legitimate. So this will be earlier before that night, before we make all the rolls, before I made all the rolls. But let's go ahead and go back a little bit. Hey, and Guyver, so you got a legitimate position. Did they give you any kind of documentation or any data files?
That's a good question. Did they, GM?
so I had some questions about that because you just kind of gave them a random name. I think they probably.
Droid talk for me. Like I say, because I came across as a gank or whatever it is, so that way I would.
He's asking you what name your droid gave you, because in the actual game we didn't actually hear a name given.
Oh, that's right. 1 second.
Yeah, like what I was trying to determine is if that was just part of the distraction, or if you were expecting that to be kind of like a name you could use. Because if it's just a name with no discernible background, it would probably fail any kind of cursory background check by the Empire.
As long as it gets in, I mean, yeah, this is just a made up. I haven't really put any background to it. It's just the name I just came up with. So, master glyph or whatever I'll call them.
But Jaquel did receive some information because he used that title that was or that profile that was created by Necro. So you guys did get kind of like an orientation packet. I dropped a little bit about that in the. What kind of information are you looking for? I can kind of try and tell you if it's in the orientation packet.
Well, so Necro is going to use that information to make everything look legit. So we're going to basically, whatever profiles we want. So my character's going to be Kronos, and he'll probably get a CE number, kind of like the stormtroopers. I mean, for Imperial work, the stormtroopers get TK numerical, CE for like contractor, engineer, something like that. So he'll probably have some number, but he was going to look through the paper for little nuanced details like that, so that the when he's building the code to actually swap our identities in place of the people that were actually scheduled to be on the crew, whenever he programs that data into the computer spike, he's just using that paper. So if he has some paperwork, the chances are it'll hold up to more scrutiny, the more details he's able to get from hiring packets and stuff, to make sure that he's, like how stormtroopers have a numerical serial to see if they use that for their contractor work as well, based on whatever paperwork they got. So that's all. It's just more narration so that it holds better scrutiny if anyone goes to check on it. But
and like some of the information you can pick up, for example, are the mechanic shifts are from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. 4 days a week. So like you could, when you're kind of changing the work schedule, you know what the boundaries of the schedules are. You know that the security schedules are slightly overlapping, so that there's not a security shift change when there's a mechanic shift change.
Okay, so you guys want to do this tomorrow? do the mission tomorrow on the Gozanti.
I'm trying to figure out what's the mission you're trying to do right now.
The mission right now is I'm building a data spike. Kit Cam and whoever else wants to accompany her are going to break into the Department of Labor building because she swiped a code cylinder that will give her access to their system. Once she has access to that system, you don't have to break into their system because you'll use their code cylinder she swiped. Then she can plant my data spike that I built using a 3-mil comm and so about 550 parts to build a computer spike. And the only thing the computer spike does is it's going to take our information as far as our aliases, whatever our alias names are. It's going to plug us into the schedule to work on the Gozanti together, and it's going to shuffle the people that were originally scheduled into different departments at random, so that we will legitimately be where we're supposed to be. And if anyone checks on it, it will be in the Department of Labor's computer showing that we are supposed to be there.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, my guy already got that. Is that what he was scheduled to go with, or what did they schedule him for to work on?
They wouldn't have actually, like, after I put that information in the chat, I realized if they couldn't have performed any kind of background check for him, they wouldn't have sent him information at this point. They would have either flagged him or flagged that identity or requested more information.
Okay, like I say, what kind of roles would I need to do to get that information, I guess, for that?
It's narrative. You have to tell what you're doing or what you want to do to establish a background.
Okay, so
yeah, like if you wanted to go.
So like my
like you'd have to. What did we do for Necro? I think you had to kind of hack into a HoloNet relay or something like that. Or did you just create random profiles?
So Jaquel requested an identity that wouldn't draw suspicion. So Necro, on our 7-day journey, actually spent hours. Well, multiply that by 3 because he's got technical aptitude. So he spent time in game creating profiles local to the Tallaani system that will. So the HoloNet is restricted by Imperial, but there's some basic stuff that people are allowed to do, and it's heavily monitored. So there's like a career builder type HoloNet site that people can use to advertise that they're available and that put their job skills. Something like kind of like career builder. So they got something like that that's low maintenance that the Empire will allow. So I basically filled out a couple of those sites and I backdated them to see that they were established 5 years ago versus being built a couple days before we got here. So my character rolled a computer's check and spent the time to do that.
That was like a difficulty 3, or I can't remember what I said.
We used the difficulty that was in the slicing encounters for a local HoloNet, which is a 3 difficulty versus the regional. And that's why we stuck everything locally too, to raise less red flags, and it's a lower difficulty if you're trying to hack into the local into a systems HoloNet versus a region.
I could roll that too if that's what I need to do to build a background. I thought Jeff was doing all the backgrounds for everyone.
No one communicated with me. We took different ships. The people that I talked to, role playing wise, that requested that I did that.
You need to roll 3 purple computer check.
Yeah, and at this point, so if you want to get it done before they do the background check, I would say you probably have to do it as a rush job. Okay. So I think, what is that, like a setback or 2?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay.
So I would say 2 setback, 3 purple difficulty.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll have.
And you can do it as like within an hour. You could have kind of all that stuff set up.
I would have done this with Speedy since he's a computer one. 1 second. Pull this chart.
Okay. Hey, Jahat. I noticed you just came in. Did you see any of our chat on Roll20? Did you want to help break in, or did you want to do things kind of the way Angiver's doing, where he'll just apply with a fake ID and hope that everything goes through?
Jahat's actually been working on building his own kind of like fake ID persona as a undercover ISB agent, so he's going to probably try and get in more that way.
Do you want your ID in the do you want your fake persona ID inside the Department of Labor records? Because I'm building the program, I'm building a data spike, and its only purpose is to put our data in, assign us to that to be on the Gozanti, so that if anyone does any checks, it'll show that we're in their system. That is the only way you can access it is if you're physically at their system and have access to it. So it's not something that can be sliced over the internet.
Yeah, I think I'll probably, you know what? Maybe throw a like a Mr. Brown on there for him or something like that. And he'll honestly like probably just straight up tell one of the imps that like, hey, I've got a fake ID to get in there.
Okay, so I've got Necro. I got the droid Necro's bringing, he looks kind of like one of the droids that we're supposed to capture. So he's, what are they called? I forget what those droids are called.
Oh, the RA-7.
Yeah, so he's RA-737 is what I'm entering him in as. Then Necro will be entering as Kronos. Do you know if they're using CE serial numbers to identify them like stormtroopers use, or are they? I don't even think the Imperials would actually acknowledge them, or than be like, "Hey, you, get over there."
Which person are you talking about?
I was just asking.
Like the laborers?
I'll just put our names in. I don't know if we need a serial or not. You know, like the stormtroopers are TK77132. I don't know if we need a serial or not. If
yeah, like if you're most of the civilian employees seem to be listed by name.
Okay, so I'll follow that.
They're just given a clearance to work on the dock. There are if you're well, I guess you'd have to look into their system to know that. But
based on the paperwork based on the paperwork that Will's character got.
Yeah, and that says Mr. Jack or whatever his name was.
Okay,
I don't remember
what
name you gave.
That's how I will enter into the system then.
You said 3 purple and 2 setback?
Yeah. 3 difficulty.
3 purple, 2 setback.
Okay. And I've rolled off camera for encrypting the hidden cam that Kit Cam's going to put on her droid to help guide them if they need any help.
I rolled it wrong.
Yeah, and also Kit Cam has equipped on his helmet a recording like a video and audio recording device as well. So whenever he gets to the building, he's going to turn that on, just so he can make note of what happens. And
are you broadcasting that, or is that just being recorded locally on your device?
It's just being recorded locally.
Okay, cool. Okay, so that's what my character will be doing until the evening time. So he'll be setting up the computer data spike, giving that to Kit Cam, encrypting the hidden camera, giving that to Kit Cam's droid, and then he will operate from our hotel room to monitor how things are going from the hidden cam.
All right. So, and Guyver, you did receive the same documentation that Jaquel did later that day. Basically, just kind of telling you your shift is from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on level A051, and just kind of a brief description of the rules. I can read out the summary if you haven't read through it. Basically, the highlights are no unauthorized personnel. All personnel must be in authorized uniforms. No contraband. Military and security personnel only on lift platforms except at shift change times.
What are the uniforms?
The uniforms, they will provide you with a, basically a coveralls.
Okay, so they can go over customized armor that's made for mechanics and stuff.
I don't think they would do that. You have to wear. You can either wear one or the other, right?
It would probably require some kind of roll to sneak in there like that, I would say.
So, with that roll, did I get do the background check that I was trying to do before you said I needed to do?
Yes, looks like this is the roll 20, the computer's roll. Looks like you were able to set up a background, and you could look on the computer's chart if you want to try and use those advantages in a specific way.
Also, I don't know if anybody heard me last game, but when everybody was going in to do their forms and stuff, Kickham was going to go in as well, and he was going to put down that his name was George, which that's an established alias, not local, but it's established, so he'll use that.
Okay, so I'm entering Mr. Brown, George, and Kronos. That's going to be put on the Gozanti to work, right? My Kronos is going to be assigned to the hall bridge area, because I'm assuming that's where most of the computer systems are. Do you have a specific area you want on the Gozanti, Jahat and Kitcam?
Not particularly.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would probably do better with just low priority grunt work stuff.
Okay, cool. That's all going into the computer spike.
All right, and Ketcam, I think I asked Evan because he has, or Jahat, because he has kind of Mandalorian-ish armor and Mandalorian-ish looking bodyguards. Are you walking around in Mandalorian armor, or did you disguise it in some way?
No, not at this point. I've been walking around in Mandalorian armor.
Okay.
Oh, they did disguise my my customized armor. Instead of the yellow scheme, it's now got a gray a gray tone scheme.
Okay.
Or they're going to be doing that as we're getting ready for tonight. So Kit Cam will be painting my armor to look more gray toned.
All right. So as you guys are walking back from the Department of Labor, kind of getting ready to set up all your stuff, make me a perception roll.
Are we doing a group perception roll?
Yeah, I'd say either group perception, or if someone with a higher perception wants to do it, I'd say at most 2 people, or a group roll.
So my character has 1 rank in it and 2 cunning. So
I have 3 cunning and 2 ranks in it.
if
My droid has 6 rank, 6 cunning, so if you want to do a combined roll with that.
which droid do you have? Because you've mentioned 3 different droids.
So like I said, so the roll I did myself, I didn't have the droid with me. That last roll, and I thought we were going into the stealth thing. That's why I said I was going to use the stealth button. But if we're coming just back from the labor thing, I'll still probably have that RA-7 droid with me.
Yeah, I think you probably still do have the spy bot, because this is right after the events of the Department of Labor.
Yeah, so then that's who's with me. So
All right. Well, I give a boost because I have a skill ranking in it. If it's a assisted or a group roll or whatever.
All right, so Catcam, go ahead and roll 3 green, 3 purple, or 3 green, 3 yellow, and we'll say 1 red, 2 purple for the difficulty.
Okay, hold on. Can you repeat that one more time?
So you have basically you have a 6 cunning from the boost from the droid, and then the difficulty is 1 red, 2 purple.
Okay, gotcha. And then you said 1 red and 2 purple?
Yes. And I think you got a boost from Necro.
From being a draw, whenever I do a skilled assist, they get a boost.
Okay.
interesting. All right, so you kind of look back behind you, and I guess I can use maybe the stealth. All right, so you see behind you, there's like a Gamorrean peeking around the corner, kind of following you. But as soon as you look back, he sees you looking at him and disappears around the corner. So you guys would probably be like up here, and there was a Gamorrean like back here.
Okay. I will point it out to my party, and I'll start making my way towards where he was.
Okay.
What do you see?
All right. Well, I'm running after him. So what do I see?
Did you? So you relayed something to the group, right? So just in character, kind of tell them what you said.
Oh. Yeah, I seen somebody that was tagging us. It was a grammarian, so I'm gonna go try to run and check out and see what's up.
Sounds good.
Real quick, as I'm running towards the direction, wherever the closest building is, do I see anything like a stack of crates or something like that would give me access to the rooftop of said building?
So let's see. The building in question is the currency or the Department of Labor, and then the Holonet Center to the south. Let's see, I don't. If you want to spend a destiny point, you could have like something that you could use to climb. I don't see anything on the map you could use, but there's also kind of a courtyard over this way. So if you,
I think he wants some dark side points. So
Do you have any,
we should share.
do you have any ascension gear?
My character does.
No, well, I have my jetpack.
Droids does.
yeah, you could try like an athletics. It would be a little bit harder. I'd say like a 3 purple athletics to just scale up a wall. But it would also
Okay.
be kind of obvious.
I'll shout my support for you. You can do it.
What about if I were to use my jetpack to
Get him.
move myself up onto the roof?
Yeah, you could do that. That would be extremely obvious, but you could do it. I don't think jetpacks are restricted, right? So it's not like technically illegal.
No.
I mean, it's probably some form of trespassing, but most of the time they'd probably just yell at you, get the hell down. Unless we're on Space Texas, then. Castle law on a turbo laser.
Yeah, if you want to make a piloting check, you can with the jetpack. Be piloting planetary, and I'm not sure what is there a set difficulty for a maneuver like that?
Up to you. But if it's nothing too hard for her to do, then you can just make it easy.
You can do easy, normal, hard, formidable.
Add setbacks if there's any environmental stuff in the area, or maybe like or something like that, or just like stuff to avoid.
Yeah, I'd say probably easy because you're taking off from a stable surface to a known location.
Okay, that sounds good. And also, as I get ready to take off, I'm gonna activate my tracking system on that specific target as well before he pokes around the corner.
Okay. What does that do? Like you can see him even if you don't have line of sight, or how does that work?
It says upgrade ability of checks to track and a designated target. Once spend a maneuver to designate a target while in line of sight, or having a tracker or comm line open.
So it kind of just like flags him like you're playing Assassin's Creed or something. So you can kind of keep track of his location even if you lose him.
Yeah, basically. Kind of think. I guess probably the best way to think about it would be sort of kind of like a heat tracker, like sensor thing, like the FLIR cameras. You know how you can kind of see like out to 1,000 feet or so with those, and you can see heat signatures. I would think it would be something similar to that.
All right, yeah, I'll allow that. You're Gadgeteer bounty hunter, right? So you're probably used to this sort of quick.
Yeah. All right.
So you go ahead and make your piloting.
And we said it was average, right?
I heard easy.
Oh, easy, yes. One purple.
Okay. I just cannot win for losing today. It looks like I'm gonna have another bad day.
Were you supposed to have all those setback?
Oh yeah, you had 3 setback on that roll.
Okay, hold on. Let me fix that then.
It's okay. You've got one. You got 1 extra success and 1 less threat. So it's 3 successes and 1 threat. Actually,
okay. So yeah, just take 1 strain from that.
Okay, that sounds good. And then once I make it on the roofs, I'll kind of start running in that sort of general direction, but definitely out of the line of sight and trying to be a little more stealthier as I'm attempting to keep up with them.
Right. What is everyone else doing while this is happening?
My character's not a combat, so my character's gonna make its way towards the hotel to start on the computer spike.
Jahat is probably on his way back from the casino around this same time, so if you want it, I don't know what direction he'd be coming from. He could totally see a Gamorrean come running past and then see Kit come flying past or something. Or Kyber or Necro could run past him.
Yeah, I think she mentioned it on her comms or whatnot, or she's...
Yeah, I would have said which basic general direction he was running to, so like heading eastwards or whatever from.
So yeah, I mean, if I can reasonably get somewhere where I can kind of help try and intercept, I don't know what direction I'd be coming from then.
Yeah, I would say I'll make the same offer. If you wanna throw me a destiny point, I'll say that you could have been coming back using this route, and the Force was with you.
Yeah, sure.
You guys got plenty of them.
And also, real quick, which is the guy that I'm chasing again?
Right here was the Gamorrean that you saw.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I wanted to make sure I was on the right building there.
PCs, make sure you spend the light side point, though. Okay, cool.
All right, so we have kind of a chase ensuing. I'll say that you're kind of coming from around here, Jahat.
I need some royalty-free chase music.
And Guyver, were you running after Cat Cam or heading back with Necro?
was seeing what was going on. I mean, if he needs backup, then I can follow. I mean, I can't fly or anything, but I guess I could fall through the ground. I guess.
All right, so everyone that's with, it may not come to combat. I don't want to say that, like, just because I'm having you guys roll initiative, there's going to be fighting. If you guys don't want to fight, but it'll help keep things a little bit more kind of in line. So everyone that's participating, I'm going to clear this out real quick. Let's see, clear.
I have no problem with using my tail cannon again.
All right, so everyone that's participating in this encounter, just go ahead and roll initiative.
And we're going to be using cool, correct? Since
Yeah.
okay.
Wow, something happened with that dice pool.
Yeah, it was me for some reason. After I cleared out the dice pool on top, it didn't clear the purple out for some reason.
Right.
So you got a 1-1.
Yes, I did. Technically.
That guy got a 0-2.
While they're chasing, my character can be buying the 3-mile security comm and the parts to create the computer spike from.
And also, I will go ahead and I will tell my droid that I have at the moment to go ahead and follow Necro back to the hotel.
Roger, Roger.
All right, so first, oh, this is not sorted in order. Oops.
It's the time clock on the toolbar. And then settings, and then do Z to A. It's not NPCs.
Oh, wait. Oops. That should only be one NPC. That's a minion group. I forgot. I just wanted to have them as separate tokens. So one through. Oh no. Let's see. What was the first one I rolled? That was 5-3. And then 3-2 is the one I need to delete. And the 0-5. All right. So the first initiative slot will be this guy running across the street over to here. And we're to the first PC slot.
So is it one Gamorrean and a couple Rhodians?
Yeah, it's one Gamorrean and a couple of Rhodians that are a minion group. So it should be 2 NPCs.
Okay. If it's alright, I'll take the first PC slot.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Alright, so I'm gonna run over sort of towards the end of this top of the building there for the hollow net. And I'm gonna blast off with my jetpack from there. And I'm going to land right here with my blaster out and pointed at the Gamorrean, and I'm gonna yell, "Stop! Don't move!" And that's all I'm gonna do for my first turn.
Dang, you are all the way over there.
All right, so yeah, just roll a one more planetary piloting easy roll.
Alrighty.
All right, so you're successful, but you take another strain from the from kind of almost botching the landing, but you managed to pull it off.
Okay. Also, I see that it's putting setback dice
It
on
did it
here.
again.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
so no strain.
I don't have any setback dice.
Check the dice pool in the GM thing. Maybe it might have some.
All right, so I think I have. Oh no, that's not the GM pool. All right, let me check the GM pool. That was an NPC. Dice pool. I don't have any setback in the GM pool.
You know, this happened with one of DJ's characters. It had like 9 setback.
Same name. That's why.
Do you have more than one kick cam?
No, not that I know of.
Does the jetpack have some kind of quality that makes it less maneuverable?
It could be the descriptor too on one of them. It could be throwing everything off.
Yeah, it depends on your description. Sometimes description screws up stuff. Piloting? I don't think you have anything under piloting though.
No, well, I don't have like the jetpack or whatever listed under like vehicle or anything. I just have it in my inventory.
So you're just rolling piloting off of your piloting roll?
Yeah. I don't think the jetpack offers me any sort of like bonus or anything.
Here's what I did. I just on your dice pool, I just put -3 on the setback. It shouldn't screw anything up, but if it's adding 3, it should erase them. So just leave a -3 on your setback. See how I have -3. Just leave that there. That should prevent it from showing up.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, next PC slot. And all the PC slots are together, so it doesn't really matter too much what order you do them in, so you don't have to
Okay, I'm just gonna
debate too hard.
run to catch up pretty much because I can't really do anything from where I'm at.
Does Kit Cam get some kind of like coercion roll there?
Yeah, I would say you can roll a coercion as a incidental, since you did some pretty impressive bounty hunter stuff.
Okay, what's the difficulty on that?
Let me check this guy real quick. Let's see. I'm sure he has a... What is that? Cool?
Discipline.
Discipline? Alright, so his discipline... So it's just going to be... Wow. Oh. Yeah, so 1 purple. Am I looking at the right sheet?
I keep underdoing my
Could be.
Gamorreans probably don't have very good discipline. That's why they're usually muscle.
I think this is way too low. He has 1... Yeah, on this sheet he has 1 wound. 1 brawn. He has 1 of everything. Yeah, I think that's wrong.
Probably a minion.
I just grabbed a token from the sheet. I didn't actually look at its stats.
All right, let me make sure and check Gamorrean Thug.
No, you're looking at the regular. You're looking at the regular sheet. You're supposed to. It's supposed to be on the NPC sheet.
Let's see.
Yeah,
NPC sheet.
Yeah, he's got stats on the NPC sheet.
So I'm looking for discipline, which he doesn't have ranks in. Looks like.
Yeah, he has.
Oh no, he's got 1 red, 1 purple. 1 red, 1 purple. For the coercion.
Okay.
All right, so he does stop and kind of turn around to face you with his hands kind of held up.
Okay, at this point, I'll just continue to have my gun trained on him. And if I can do anything else, I'll ask him why he was. I want to know why he was tailing us.
All right. So next NPC or next PC slot. I think we had. I think Angiver was running. And what do you want to do, Jahat?
I'll kind of lean up against the building here with my own blaster out, and I'll call over to the Rhodians and tell them, "Hey, you guys don't run anywhere too quick either, okay?" Same difficulty for them.
Head back to the ship with Necro. He's not going to be really helpful in this scenario.
All right. So yeah, we can mostly probably drop out of initiative, but if we need to kind of decide what order things are happening in, we can. The Gamorrean says, "Hey, I don't want any trouble. Just we were told to watch out for any Mandos on this planet."
That's what he says in Gamorrean, but if you don't speak it, it's like.
Do they not speak?
It's impossible.
That sounds like a fight.
They don't have the proper. They can't speak basic. They can understand it. They can't speak it though.
Okay, so one of the Rhodians probably chimes in. Yeah, we're watching for Mandos. Some a Mando came through here a while back with some others and blew up a bunch of our boss's property. You wouldn't happen to be that one, would you?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. Does my armor look like theirs? Is it the same color as theirs?
Hey, I wasn't there. I was, we're just keeping an eye out, reporting back. We already did our job, to be quite honest. So, we got no beef.
Who's your boss then?
Our boss is Hamar. You with this Mando?
Yeah. Not really.
So, Cam, you should remember that name, and you kind of might. So you might have an idea what they're talking about.
Okay, where have I heard that before?
So back to that first mission I did with the back to heist, Hamar was the guy who hired you, and you guys kind of blew up his vessel as a big FU to him.
Oh, so this is where we got the bounty on all of our heads from then, huh?
Yes. So you can try to lie to him and say you don't know anything about that.
Well, George is the one that they wanted for that.
That is true. Yeah.
Are you using the same alias, by the way?
Yeah.
Yep.
But only for the paperwork.
Yeah, only for the paperwork. So, I mean, I can tell them that my name is Ketcam and I have no idea what they're talking about.
All right. Do you want to do that?
Remember, that is getting your real name out here. When I think a lot of us are trying to potentially avoid linking our actual identities to any of the festivities.
I don't recall you using George though when you were signing the paperwork. I'll have to go back to the video. I think you did sign that stick cam though.
No, it was George. Wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was George. I know it because that's where I came up with that alias at.
My character used Zombre on that one, but I'm Kronos on this one.
That's why, because you did yours off camera. You came in after the main group.
Okay. Well, I won't give them a name then. Because Cam feels that he doesn't have to explain himself to anybody, especially with the position that they're in versus what he thinks we're in. So he's just going to be like, I have no idea what you're even talking about. So all I can say is just stay out of my way.
One of the Rhodians pulls out a bounty puck, and it shows a hologram, and it says George wanted for destruction of property, and a list of other charges kind of tacked onto the destruction of the Bacta tanker.
Million deaths.
I mean, I'm no expert, but I mean, I can see the similarity.
Oh, you hear that? All Mandalorians look the same. Wow. Okay.
I mean, most people say the same thing about Rhodians, to be honest. Mostly humans.
Yep. Whatever you say, Greedo.
I take issue with that.
Then do.
Well, then this is what I'm going to say to you. This armor has been in my family for generations upon generations. It is made specifically for my clan. So unfortunately, that bounty puck that you have means nothing to me. Because that just simply means that a Mando that has the same type of armor that I do has a bounty out on them. That has nothing to do with me.
Unless
So-
you're Iron.
Stay out of my way, and if I see you again trying to tail me, we're gonna have problems.
And something like beeps on the Gamorrean's ear, and he holds up his finger for a second and just puts his other finger, kind of cups his hand over his ear, and snorts a few things in Gamorrean. And then snorts to one of the Rhodians, and the Rhodian says, yeah, sorry, the boss wants to talk to you now. Would you mind coming with us willingly?
Willingly. Really?
I mean, you know, it's free to ask.
I'm not going anywhere with you. Because I have no reason to go anywhere with you.
Okay. So are you part of this beef too, fancy boy?
Not really. Just curious. You know, heard the commotion. It's always fun to see a little interesting stuff happening.
In the name of this legally acquired bounty, we order you to come willingly with us to answer for your potential crimes, and we'll sort this out as law-abiding citizens. What say you? And they start reaching for blasters. You want to come have a chat with Mr. Hamar, or are we gonna get rough here?
At that point, when I notice that they start going for their blasters, I'm going to jetpack back on top of the building and lay down to gain some cover. I still want to be able to see them, but have at least some cover.
How high do you think the building is? Medium, long, extreme range?
Let's see. The building is I'd say probably 20 feet, so medium high. Or no, that would be just on the edge of short and medium.
So it'd be a medium. Okay.
Yeah, I think to shoot up there it would be medium range at least.
Yeah, it'd be medium for them to shoot back and forth.
All right, so since we are starting back into initiative, do you guys want to roll new initiatives or use the pre-existing?
You can use pre-existing. I use that time they're talking to catch up.
All right. So the first, as you're kind of firing up your jetpack, somebody's going to get a shot off. And since the Gamorrean, well, no, I think he's more of an up close and personal guy. So the Gamorrean's going to run forward. Oops, I had everyone selected. The Gamorrean alone, and not with every single person on the map, is going to run forward and take a swing at you.
Okay.
He's gonna run. And let me try this neat little trick for bringing up his character sheet. All right.
I'll double click.
And so he's gonna swing this axe at you. Do you have any kind of defense? Do you have melee defense?
I have a melee defense of 1.
All right, so I gotta put a setback on there.
Do you have any range defense?
Man, I'm sorry, guys. I have to step AFK real quick.
Why does he have so many setback? He's only supposed to have 1.
Let me. I'm gonna reset the API. See if that fixes anything.
Oh, that put a ton of red dice on there too. That's crazy. I'll probably just end up re-rolling that.
I'm gonna reset the API. See if that fixes anything. There we go. Try refresh. See if it works better.
Interesting.
Is the dice not working?
I see. Well, there you go. I see you roll.
Oh God.
A bunch of black in it though.
Yeah, it's not working as intended. It's upgraded twice and has a ton of setback. That would have been a pretty good one, though.
It might be maybe something with one of the NPCs that's throwing everything off on it.
What weapon did you use? The vibro axe?
Vibroax, yeah.
Oh, it says 2 red, 6 black in the modifiers. There. Okay. I delete. Yeah.
Why does it, though?
I just deleted it because whoever used this character last put it in there. Okay, so now you can use the dice. Right now it has 1 black, but there's no difficulty dice under his character sheet.
All right, so I'm going to try one last time and see if this works. Did that work correctly? All right.
But you didn't upgrade it.
Didn't upgrade it.
Oh, why would it be upgraded? Does she have a talented?
Oh, I thought you said upgrade it twice.
No.
No, it was upgraded twice because I think it just gave 2 red. It wasn't an upgrade.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't.
You did it right.
All right. Man, that last roll would have been pretty deadly. But this roll is just going to be Pierce 2 and Vicious 4. So it's going to crit
What's the black
and
one?
deals 10 damage with Pierce 2 and a crit.
What's the black for?
The black was for melee defense.
Oh, okay.
So it slammed it and it also had to take 2 strain because it drew its weapon as it was running towards you.
So if it's not a nemesis, it takes wounds.
Yeah, it takes 2 wounds to do that. All right, so 10 damage, 2 pierce, and roll a critical as well. And the critical is going to be plus 40.
Okay. Real quick. I used my soak before my wounds because I've actually never ever been wounded before, so I don't know how to do any of this.
Your soak's 5, so you basically has pierce 2, so it removes. So your soak's really 3. So subtract 3 from his total damage. What's your total damage? 11.
Do you have Beskar, or is it just
It's
regular combat armor?
It's regular unless you have cortosis.
So he had yeah, the damage is 10, so 7 damage. If I remove 3.
Yeah, so 7 damage. You take 7. You subtract your soak, but the pierce negates 2 of your soak, so it lowers your soak of 5 to 3.
And do you know how to roll a critical?
There's a critical.
There's a little critical injuries tab.
And just put a number 40 inside the critical roll offset before you click the red roll critical button.
What is it to jam comms? What is it require?
A comm jammer.
So that should have been 90. So I'm going to remove that one and just add 90. Which is compromised. So increase difficulty of skill checks by 1 until end of counter. So that's not too bad. It'll go away after the encounter.
Your wounds are not correct, Kit Cam. I don't know what your wounds are supposed to be, but it says you have 1 and 7.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. I don't know why it says just 1 either. I was trying to figure that out. I was about to get up on dudes and look.
You put your wounds as 1 for your threshold.
Yeah, she said she's going to check on it.
And that was his turn. So once you figure that out, you can do player turns.
Okay. Well, I want to say, I haven't pulled it up yet, but I want to say I know it's over 10 for sure. So, I mean, either way, I'm good to go for right now.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably at least whatever your bronze, so at least 12.
13.
Yeah. So, if it's all right, I'll go ahead and take the first slot, and I'll just go ahead and do what I said I was going to do, which was not backpack, but jetpack up out of harm's way.
All right.
The taking cover doesn't give you any additional range defense since you already have range defense from your armor.
What about going prone?
Going prone, I think, makes it more difficult to shoot versus setback, but I have to look real.
Yeah,
I think that's what Karen said. We're going to go prone.
Yeah, I believe it increases the difficulty by 1.
So yeah, you can still benefit from going prone.
Okay, then that's what I'll do. I'll do that and be like right on the edge of the building, so I can still look down and see them.
Oh, it adds
right.
it adds another setback if she goes prone. So yeah, so they'll get 2 setback instead of 1 if they're shooting at you.
All right, next PC slot.
Did you want to take this or? Jihad, did you want to take it?
Oh yeah, Evan said he had to step away, so he might still be gone.
Oh, okay. I was saying maybe if my droid can find a way to de-escalate this situation, especially since the fugitive pilot flew off. So I'm gonna have it talk to them and tell them that he got away. I think actually saw nowhere. That I think like pretty much give them false coordinates where he's going ahead, and that way they can go there.
Okay, yeah, you could roll a deception.
So yeah, I've seen this. So yeah, what's the difficulty?
Is that also discipline?
Group, yeah.
It is this one.
Yeah, just do combine them, and whoever has the best core stats and skills is the difficulty.
And discipline's willpower?
Yeah. We know the Gamorrean had a rank in it, so.
Yeah, his is just flat out the best. The Rhodians are terrible at willpower. So it's just 1 red, 1 purple.
You might give a setback then for them assisting, if you want.
Yeah, take a setback on that. So 1 red, 1 purple, 1 black.
And guy was gonna speak to him binary and assist by telling him the coordinates where to go. It's gonna pretty much say, according to the database, this person you're looking for, I've seen him land in sector G73. Pretty much clear on the other side of the city and stuff like that. So you might have a better chance finding him there.
All right, yeah. They seem very convinced.
In fact, he's got such a fast ship, he might be off-world before you know it.
So they kind of is anyone continuing to attack them?
No, I was hoping this was. That's why.
Yeah, no. If Angiver's droid defused the situation and they're convinced that I'm gone, then I'm good with that.
All right. So yeah, they're kind of running off in the direction he mentioned, and the Gamorrean is communicating.
I'm gonna whisper on your comm, stay down until I say until we tell you to come up.
You got it.
So you said they're likely off-world, right?
Yeah,
or they're likely.
Two triumphs. I want them to believe that he's already his ship. So he's going to go straight to the ship and take off and head, to like a further system aware or something like that. So send him on a wild goose chase, pretty much.
All right.
Sounds like Kim might need to change the color of his armor too.
Yeah, I was wondering. Actually, have we seen any Imperials walking around?
Yes, very sparse here. The security seems to be more Tallaani military. They kind of have their own military as well, so they have a joint defense agreement with the Imperials. There is a bit more of an Imperial presence than the last time you were here.
Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna come over comms straight to Necro then. And I want to ask Necro if it would be possible to maybe make a fake identity for me as a Imperial stormtrooper.
I would need some information for that. I don't actually have any. Wait, actually, yes, I've got six user identities from a previous adventure of Imperials that logged in, and they're probably more officer level since they had credentials enough to speak directly with the Star Destroyer, and I don't think typical stormtroopers have that access. So I do have 6 different. We can pick one if you want. That's up to the GM. I put my my little reader, my skimmer, on a HoloNet relay system on OGM that the Imperials are using, and it broke. And my character repaired it and slipped that on there, and then rolled a triumph to get it away the next day. And he rolled and got 6 different Imperials login credentials. So I can help her build one of those.
So you'd want someone, though, I'm guessing someone that wears a helmet, right?
I don't have that level detailed. I just know user credentials they use to access.
Like what I'm thinking is probably most staff officers don't wear helmets.
He also wouldn't have any pictures or images of them to correspond with.
Yeah, I don't. So it'd be a risk. Of course, it's going to be a risk, but he at least has some information digitally to lead people to suspect that you are that person, unless they dig deeper or actually know the person. But it I do have 6 different ones. I could choose one at random, and if you wanted, but it'd be an officer. I don't have any stormtrooper data
Could
as
we
of yet.
potentially do a little bit of, I don't know how realistic or difficult it would be to do a tiny bit of even just kind of surface level research on these guys and figure out who they are?
Important officers, probably. You'd probably be able to find at least 1 or 2 of them on the HoloNet in some form of propaganda. If they're that, if they're like upper level officers.
Okay, I have a thought. Because way back in that same story, I think, or in that same episode, I want to say that I knocked a stormtrooper out in one of our previous episodes, and I took his armor. And I want to say that I also took a code cylinder from him that had his login information and all that stuff, because we were trying to get into that communications building.
That's true. So she does have stormtrooper looking armor.
Yeah, she built that with Ngai, but that one.
I mean, kick cam him. He does.
Yeah. But yeah, so if I could, I would spend a destiny or a light side point, to say that I have that code cylinder with me, and then we could build the identity off of the information on that code cylinder.
Yeah, I'd say that's feasible.
I can make a note on the data spike that whatever your stormtrooper number is assigned to security detail on the Gozanti.
Okay,
my character's going blind, though. I don't know if that's standard protocol or not, but my character can put it just in case. So.
Okay, yeah.
As long as they don't dig too deep, it would probably hold up to kind of basic scrutiny.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'll spend that life side point.
All right.
Did you click it? Oh, there you go. Okay, so she already has the information. I just get that information from her. I build the data spike. It's maybe 7-8 hours. How soon do you want to wait till it's dark to break in, or do you want to? I don't know what time you want to break in, but my character shouldn't take very long. It only takes a few hours to create the data spike since he took the setback.
Yeah. I would think that the longer that people have been out of the building, probably the better. Because if we go in kind of sort of right after they may have left, there still may be some lingering around. Whereas if we wait a few hours and it gets really super dark, then hopefully by then most of the people will be gone.
Are you changing armor?
Yes. I was gonna immediately after I got the okay to pop back up. I was immediately just running straight back to the hotel, and
I'll tell you. I'll have Tybris meet us there. We can take care of that arm or leg, whatever got hit.
Yeah, and the critical injury, from what I read, only lasts the encounter, so you can heal the damage, but the critical injury is already gone.
No, the critical injury stays. The effects go after the encounter. So if you don't heal it, whenever you roll another critical, it adds to it, so your roll's actually higher. than what it would be if you had no critical.
Right. So the
It's just
effect.
a blank critical.
Fix it. Or
Right.
Yeah, the effects go away after the encounter, but the critical injury is there until it's healed.
Okay.
And you can heal a critical injury once a week. You can have someone do a check to heal it once a week.
that's pretty much what I was doing. I was going to do the heal check unless someone else wants to do it.
Okay, that's fine. If I gotta go to the ship so we can do that, we can do that. Or I can go to the hotel. Either way, it doesn't really matter.
We'll just have to bring one to have my droid do that, meet us there to do that.
Okay, alright, that'll work.
I will find his stats. It's a 2 purple check.
Okay, so let's just say 5 hours goes by. I have the data, the data spike, ready, and then I guess you guys want to wait till it gets darker. We can do that.
All right. So if no one else is doing anything in that time, you guys can kind of just move forward to nightfall. I know Jahat, are you back?
Yes. Yes, sir.
I know you had a few things you wanted to try and do, like with your identity that you're kind of trying to establish here. Did you want to try and do some checks on those that other crew that you kind of had a vision about, or?
Yeah, I'd like to go try and do that. I know maybe for part of that would probably be more computer. So I know Jahat's not great at that, and I know Necro's busy working on that spike.
Well, we're waiting longer. It's only going to take me 4 hours to make the spike, so Necro has time since you guys want to wait till it's about 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could either go the street. I'd say you can go the streetwise route or the computers route.
Well, I'm pretty bad at both of those. So I think I'd probably I'd be asking for either help with the computers or to borrow one of the droids for the streetwise. But basically, I've got a potential crew, another potential crew that may be moving in. I guess this may be the first time Jahat's actually specifically shared that with the group. But he's saying he's got a little bit of info that there may be another crew that's trying to make a move on the Gozanti. He doesn't have much info, just basically a description.
Oh, well, good thing we're doing this as soon as possible.
Yeah, well, from what I understand, their plan is actually, and this is where I have some concerns that we may be getting double crossed, because I think their plan is to hit it after we steal it.
So maybe we should have. Do we have enough people to command the guns, or do we need to bring on some of my more advanced gunnery droids?
Personally, I think one of our best potential plans is to get the imps to do the shooting for us. If we can convince them to, and at this point, Jahat will actually kind of go into his longer explanation of his idea about maybe faking a bomb threat on the ship, and moving it away from the shipyards as a safety thing while we pretend that we are the demo squad and are defusing bombs, and basically get escorted away while we and then while we do that, we can be frantically plotting an astrogation jump or something like that. And at that point we can say, hey, can we get some ties to escort us out over here, just in case we need somebody to pick up escape pods or something like that.
So that doesn't change our current plan, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
All right, so which one do you want to go? Which route do you want to go to kind of figure out your information?
I would say streetwise. I think.
So the streetwise, it's not particularly hard, except for the fact that to find out who this crew is wouldn't be terribly hard, but with the information you have, it would be a little bit harder. So I'm gonna say 2 purple with 3 setback because you only have like a vaguish description. And I guess from your memory, you could give a pretty good description, but still, it's kind of like they would have to recognize the crew as, a unit that fits this description, basically.
Right.
So it's really up to your descriptive abilities.
Yeah, I think Jahat's reasonably artistically talented, even. So he could probably do a pretty passable sketch of them.
So I'd say if you want to try and craft a sketch, you can give yourself some boost.
Okay, what would I roll to do that then?
I'd say it's probably presence, because it's kind of like an artistic thing. And is there a skill that you would use for performance? What do performers use for a skill in Star Wars? It's what?
Deception. I'd say deception for what performance use or charm, depending upon what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I'll say you can go with charm.
So when Kikam came back to the ship, Angiver had Tiberius on standby and took him back into a room, and stripped him down and healed a crit and also healed up Kikam. So Kikam is back to full health.
What's the difficulty of the painting check?
I'd say like 2 purple.
Okay, and then how many setback does that remove, or is it removing setback or adding boost to the streetwise check?
So I'll say you can remove 1 setback per extra success, so you can remove 2 of those setback.
Okay.
So it'd be 1 setback, 2 difficulty.
Okay. And can I borrow our streetwise droid to do? Or honestly, probably would be easier with my sketch provided. Can I give the sketch to the droid and get have Nick or Angiver, whichever one of you has all the speaks binary, to direct the droid to go with me to ask around there?
Sure, I could do that. Unless, so the droid's got a streetwise of 3.
All right. So I think that's 3 and 3 with whatever boost speak binary. Was it 4? 4 boosts.
Yeah, I got speaks binary 4.
Okay. Did you just want to do the roll since you have the droids? I don't know the droid sheet up.
Well, the spy bot has 6 strengths in well, not 6 strengths, but my spy bot has 6 in cunning, so you could do that if you want to do that.
He was asking, why don't you just have the droid roll it?
Okay, I'll have the droid do it, and I'll tell it what to do.
All right. So I guess Necro, you're doing some computer stuff, right?
Yeah, I already did it. I already did it in the Discord chat. So he created the computer spike to get our aliases into the system and reassign the people that were taking their position to different spots. And then he did the encryption, and he'll take an hour. He'll go on the ship and spend an hour training for ranged defense with treads. He'll meet up with them at some point since we're waiting until late at night. So that's what he'll occupy his time doing unless someone else needs something else.
All right. So, yeah, you guys Just kind of waiting on that streetwise roll to see what you learn, but I'm guessing with all those dice, you're going to learn some stuff.
What's
I'm
the
confident.
what's the difficulty again?
2 purple, 1 setback.
Yep. All right, yeah. So you get some details. You do eventually find someone who's kind of familiar with the crew. They ask if you're looking to hire some smugglers. The human wearing an armored leather coat with 2 well-worn pistols is Jensen, the captain of the crew. The droid with bug eyes is Bug. The Deveronian woman is Slip, their slicer. Bug is their pilot. The Trandoshan with bristling with weaponry is Liz. And the hooded woman in robes was Farah. And they are a crew of pirates, sometimes smugglers, who basically are fairly notorious, infamous, kind of go around taking what they want type of fellas. Pretty competent from all descriptions that you've been able to gather.
Are you sharing that with everyone?
Yeah. Can we spin the advantage to maybe maybe like him and Hall a little bit as we're talking to him and be like, oh, well, sounds like there may be a little bit higher profile than we want for the job. The job we're going for is probably a little bit more simple. So don't want them to feel offended though if we don't choose to approach them. So do you mind keeping this discussion between us until we've made that decision? So basically, spin the advantage to get them to hope, especially not tip off the crew that we're investigating them.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say that with the 2 advantage, that's reasonable.
Maybe someone can anonymously tip off the Imperials about their plans.
Oh yeah, for sure. And once we are kind of gathered back up at the hotel, Jihad also, who, by the way, I guess you guys probably wouldn't have even would not have recognized, except for maybe, I don't know, Kickham would probably recognize. Kickham's a Mandalorian. He'd probably just recognize the gun, just because weapons are part of my religion. But yeah, Jihad's Jihad would probably take the disguise off before he got back to the hotel room. But he explains that his little what he's been doing about building this persona as a ISB agent, and his plan to use that potentially to either A, get us in on the ship, and also B, to throw some roadblocks at that other crew.
Depending on how far along the Gozanti is, if I have access to their systems, so we could assign your identity to that ship.
Yeah, I think I simply tip off, one of the couple of the officers that, Mr. Brown is my fake identity. Is you probably did a good job hiding that. There's probably not much there to trace it directly to you. If I did let them know that my identity on there was fake.
So, I don't have access to Imperial databases, as they're all off. They're not on the HoloNet. They're all closed circuit. So,
all right,
I can't, unless I get access to like Seraph or Imperial Star Destroyer assigned to this sector, and get into their database. There's no way they'll know for sure that you don't actually exist or you're not who you say you are.
Well, of course, that's the advantage of being a. That's why I went with the ISB as a disguise, is because of course I don't exist.
Yeah, but if we got access to the Gozanti and I'm able to get on the bridge or whatever, I can access the Gozanti's database and put you in there.
It's an option.
So, did you want me to roll anything for your character then for local stuff? Maybe have a video and deepfake Mr. Brown being interviewed instead of someone else on an archive video.
I don't think that's quite necessary. I think having a trail for him might end up being a little bit more suspicious than having no trail at all. They'll kind of, I think, hopefully be expecting that.
Oh, okay. Do we want to move to the evening then? Does anyone have anything to do before breaking into the personnel office?
The only other thing I was thinking of for Jahat is can he use his kind of expertise to help with were we crafting a new set of fake stormtrooper armor for Ketcam, or was there a do we have the old one?
Ketcam has it already.
Okay. Well, in that case, he'll probably maybe just go over and help make sure that there's no using his own expertise, make sure there's no obvious discrepancies with the armor. Maybe help fix some of those.
Okay.
Yeah, and in that time, I'll go ahead and after I get myself healed back up again, I will, in the room alone, afterwards switch into my stormtrooper armor that I have. And then I will store my Mando armor back in, or not my Mando armor, but my armor back in my box that I have.
All right, so yeah, we'll move to Nightfall.
Okay, Necro hands you the computer spike. Now, you'll have to use the code cylinder to gain access to one of the terminals. Just pick one of them, and then insert this into the little doohickey part where the droids do it, and then let me know when it's in there, and I will activate it. And then once it's done, it will disintegrate, and you can sweep those pieces away or whatnot, and then leave. And here's the little camera so I can see what's going on. If I can put this on your droid, that'd be great. Then I can have some eyes on the place.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, so I guess we can move to position. Is anyone else going besides Kitcam and her droid? Or his droid?
So what are we doing now?
My character will be in the hotel room, and I'll be the eyes on Kitcam's droid, and I will, when they get the data spike into the computer, I will activate it, and then it will burn itself out once it's complete, and then she can dispose of the burned out data spike, or I think they'll just be like some dust or whatever. But they're going to break into the facility with the code cylinder she swiped from the guy.
Okay, am I going back to the same place that we were earlier?
Yeah, that same place.
Yeah, it's the Department of Labor.
All right, so the trying to put the code cylinder back where we had it, or trying to insert it to use it.
She's going to use it to gain access to the machine. Then she's going to put my computer spike in so that the computer spike can transfer the data. Then she can leave the code cylinder on the floor somewhere so it looks like they may have overlooked it. Or she can keep it, whichever.
Send Viper with her, keep an eye out. That way he can help provide her with some, I guess, skill assist for agility stuff. So like he can be looking through his Skype and his scope and telling him where to go and all that stuff and advising accordingly. If that's what we're trying to do, is sneak it in, right?
Yep. What do you want to do, Jahat? Are you gonna help break in, or
I don't think Jahat's skill set is particularly helpful in that.
All right, so as you approach, you do see that stationed near the building outside is a station security officer, kind of at the entrance to that courtyard, right here.
So Viper's going to be probably up on top of the building where he get a good sight in. So I don't know what kind of icon you're going to use. And if you guys do that.
someone might have to distract the guard, or keep it occupied.
I mean, honestly, that's close enough. If there's people issues, I guess Jihad is a little bit more helpful. So I guess he could, if you guys haven't been obviously spotted yet, you could call him and he could come over and talk to the guy.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say as soon as we were getting ready to head out and actually head towards there that I was gonna be as stealthy as I possibly can. Like hide in all of the shadows and whatnot that I can find.
What about the droid?
You guys, three, the two droids and Kit Cam could do a group stealth.
Oh yeah.
There you go. So how does the group stealth work?
Basically, all three of you roll stealth, and if there's any extra successes, you can basically share them.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, so it's difficulty then.
And maybe I can give a boost or something if Jihad just kind of strolls up to the guy. Back in disguise now.
So Viper would probably be advising you so you can get a skill assist from that.
Okay, so 2 added boost.
Just skill assist so you can get his agility.
Okay, what's his agility?
He's got a 5 in agility.
Alright, give me 1 second. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty stealthy.
Yeah, the difficulty would have been 2 purple, but I don't think 2 purple can generally produce that many.
If you're wearing that special armor that Engato built for you, the stormtrooper, you get an extra advantage for stealth because it has special embellishment.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I don't think I put that on my sheet, but
And you go to that specialist tool, that tracker, whatever it is, it picks up things to give you a free advantage and free success.
It's kind of like the radar from Aliens.
yeah.
It like pings anything that moves around you, so you have an idea.
So Jihad's just gonna kind of stroll straight up to the guy and good evening.
All right, so he seems to be distracted, and you're able to. You guys are able to slip by with that stealth, with him being kind of distracted by talking to Jihad.
My name is Jax Cannon. I'm a few questions for you. I haven't seen any suspicious individuals around recently?
Well, they did. One of the keys to a employee of this building went missing earlier, and we've just increased security in case it's not just a case of the guy losing his keys. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're just keeping our eyes open, and as he says that, kind of glances back over his shoulder just to make sure there's nothing going on over there. Just keeping an extra presence in this area for the time being.
It's good. Commendably responsible.
So make another stealth roll. This one. Let's see what it is. Nobody has perception today. So it's just going to be 2 purple.
It can be against vigilance too.
Let's see if he has vigilance. No vigilance either. Sad day. All right, so yeah, 2 purple stealth check. You can hear kind of someone typing on a keyboard in there as you're coming around this desk. Actually, he would be at this desk.
It's rather unusual. I wouldn't expect. I more meant just kind of generally in this area because I know you have like a security center nearby and things like that. I wouldn't expect the actual Department of Labor to be targeted by any ne'er-do-wells.
All right, yeah. So you're
Can I suggest the guy has to go to the restroom with that Triumph?
Yeah. I don't think he's like on a particular vigilant. Well, I mean, he's a little bit vigilant, but doesn't expect every moment to be a thing. So he kind of gets up and moves toward the restroom after a moment of you kind of hiding.
Okay. At that point, I will stay here and I will hand the computer spike to my droid. And I will tell my droid to go insert the spike into this terminal, into this slot.
After he accesses it with the computer code cylinder.
Yeah, so use this code cylinder, gain access, then insert this in this hole or in this spot, and do this, do that, whatever it is that he has to do in order to get it done. I will tell him the exact orders to do that in.
Okay.
And then just let Tekro know when it's inserted. Or a Necro, I mean.
So with him, what do I need to roll?
I think it's just an action. I don't know if there's a role for putting in a computer spike.
So he's got basically a key to unlock the computer instead of entering a password. That's what the code cylinder is for that they stole. So the droid's going to put that in first, and that unlocks the computer, and then he's free to put the computer spike in.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's what he does.
All right. And then
All right. So, no, yeah, I guess it would work.
All right. Then you let Necro know.
Yeah, my droid will come back over to me, and once I get him back over here, then I will whisper a message directly to Necro to let him know that the data spike has been planted.
Okay. So.
And then I'm going to haul it out of there as quick as I can.
Okay. So. I would make a computer roll so you tell me what the difficulty is. My computer spike gives me 6 boost and removes 5 setback, and I also get 2 boosts from exceptional performance that I used on encrypting the hidden camera feed.
All right, so it would be it would be a 3 purple, but he has what's it called? Defensive slicing, or improved defensive slicing. So it's upgraded twice.
Okay. So he's going to take 2 strain, and he will use Master Slicer. So it'll be 2 red.
All right.
All right. He's using his goggles, his mini console, and his slicer gear. His integrated slicer gear.
All right. So just so I kind of keep track of what's happening in my head, did you take the skimmer thing that pulls the code cylinder data, or did you leave it there?
Yeah, I would have I forgot to say that, but I would have asked to bring that back, the code skimmer.
Okay, so you have the code skimmer. Did you take back the extra key, or did you like leave it there somewhere?
It's up to Kit Cam's decision.
Considering that I consider myself to be pretty stealthy, I probably wouldn't want to leave any sort of evidence that could lead back to anything or anybody lying around. So I'm pretty sure I probably would have brought it back with me.
Okay.
Well, the alternate thought with that, and I think in the planning for this, I think it's reasonable that we would have discussed this. Jahat would probably actually suggest leaving it and, like, you know, kick it under a desk where it's barely sticking out or something like that, where they can go at the, oh, I dropped it, you know, or oh, it was under the bookcase this whole time. Oh, I'm so silly. Rather than the somebody actually stole this option, unless we reasonably think we'll realistically need it again.
I would agree with Jahat's reasoning.
Yeah, like where the guy spilled the coffee and tripped on it, I guess. So that way it would make more sense that maybe it fell out when I was helping the guy up.
So maybe putting it under this coffee machine.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll just kind of do the whole like put it on the ground, slide it towards the coffee machine as I'm walking out.
So I'll let you do like a easy skullduggery check, just to kind of hide it in a way that it gets found the next day, basically.
You can I can use my advantages to give you 5 boost to do that if you want.
I don't think I'll need it, but we'll take it. Why not? Just a little, if nothing else, it'll be overkill.
Yep, can't hurt.
All right, yeah. So you take a look at kind of like the sight lines in the office and where he'd be sitting, and you position it just right, you think, so that he would stumble onto it the next day.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and continue taking the long way around back to the hotel, being stealthy the whole way.
All right. Yeah. So just make one last stealth to get past the station security on your way out, unless you want to just boldly walk out the door.
Alrighty, I can do that.
You can use the advantage to help boost you if you want.
Yeah, that's right. So I can put like five boost on there.
I'm walking out. The bathroom's locked. I guess somebody's in there. Who knew?
And you said skullduggery, correct?
To sneak back out stealth.
Oh, they both were successful.
Yes. So you easily kind of make your way out of there, past the guard, and you're even able to if you want, like signal Jahat so that he knows that you're clear without being seen by the other person.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good then. I can do that.
All right, yeah. So you guys successfully implanted the data and snuck past the guards without leaving a trace, and also planted the missing code cylinder back in the office so that it will hopefully throw some suspicion off of the whole incident of yesterday.
Before I leave, I'm gonna ask this guy. Say, you're a local, right?
Yeah.
So one of the potential things that I'm investigating is some potential, well, sabotage. Honestly, um, can you think of anywhere around here where local troublemakers potentially might try to acquire explosives? Are there any bonds nearby or in the system where that would have, demolition explosives or construction companies and things like that, where I could continue my investigation?
I know we've busted up some rings, trying to steal them off the docks. That's usually not very successful, especially from the imps. We've had our eye on one of the prominent trade figures on planet. He seems to have his fingers in some shady deals, but he's so well connected we usually can't get anything on him.
Perhaps some Imperial resources could go a little further. No offense, of course, to the obviously quite dedicated work that you and your people have been doing. Can you give me the name there on that person?
So you could try, I'd say, deception, using your bonuses for this identity kind of that you'd accumulated. So like they're a little bit salty about the Empire being here, but also kind of scared of the Empire. So they don't. It's kind of like, I don't think he's in a position where he thinks he can get away with obstructing your investigation, but you have to sell the deception.
Right. And this is not a this is us working together. I don't want you to feel like this is we all, both Tallaani and Imperial, want to keep these shipyards running smoothly and running safely. I don't want you to feel like this is something where we're going to be stomping around. Well, I know Patriots comrades can be a little disruptive, but I try to minimize any trouble that we cause for our local friends.
So I'd say you could do it's a 3 purple, and whatever boosts you have for your. I know you had some things that you got from your disguise or your alternate identity.
Right. Okay, I'll go ahead and roll that.
And also, since I didn't really spend all that advantage or whatever, you can have a boost die or 2 from my roll if you want.
Cool. And you said it was 3 difficulty?
Yes. 3 purple, yeah.
All right. So my thing, my bonuses reduce the difficulty by 3. So.
All right. So yeah, you got him pretty good on this. You were trying to get some information about the legitimate businessman.
Yeah.
So yeah, he tells you that his name is Hamar. He operates out of the what's that hotel called? He would know what the hotel was called.
Downs.
The Heather Downs Hotel.
The Heather Downs Hotel. You've probably seen it. It's the big one with the casino. I think it's 28 floors tall.
There's a racing track right nearby too.
Yeah, so it's kind of you've probably actually been there in kind of trying to establish your profile as a Imperial.
If that's where the casino is, then yeah, he's been there quite a few times.
And he describes Hamar to you, and you've actually seen him around a couple times. You haven't made contact with him, but you're kind of familiar a little bit with. He likes to be seen there, and he's always seems to be meeting with people.
Okay, cool.
And I think his second in command or head of security is a well-dressed Gamorrean, which was kind of something that stuck in your memory because it's kind of rare to see.
Right. All right. I think so. I'm going to spend three of my advantage there, and I'm going to do the legendary legend for the deception check, and basically say that this guy is a little bit of a gossip, and so he kind of, after today, he kind of goes around and spreads the story around locally a little bit that the ISB is potentially investigating.
Okay.
So at some point, I may once before the end of the session, as a maneuver, the PC may introduce a new fact into the narrative without needing to spend a destiny point. So basically, like. I don't know. I guess maybe what I'll do is like make that kind of it eventually reaches some level of Imperial ears, and they make like an official note about it or something like that. That the ISB has agents on the ground investigating.
Okay. So yeah, what I'll say, if this sounds good to you, is that he reports back to his superior at the end of the shift, and it's noted in the local law enforcement, which goes kind of to the Imperial supervisors. So now they have kind of a paper trail of there being an ISB operative on the ground.
Right.
And that way that fact is out there if that's how you want to use it.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
All right,
And
so you guys
to it's just another grain of truth.
Okay. So now you guys have a some legitimate looking identities. One thing you did notice though was when you tried to program in droids, it created an error. Like it wouldn't let you. It seems like movement of droids on and off of that level of the docks is highly restricted. So you could either try and overcome that or rewrite that, but that might be something that raises alarms.
Aren't the RA-7 models supposed to be around that area?
All droids that operate up there they don't leave that level.
Okay, so how do they bring new ones on or replacements?
Through Imperial channels at this point. The Imperials have restricted movement of droids and weaponry on and off the docks, or on and off that level of the shipyards. So you'd have to do it. You'd have to do it through non-official channels if you were going to do it, or you'd have to rewrite the procedure.
Is the procedure on the local thing, or is the procedure on an Imperial?
It's an Imperial. Like basically, they wrote in an exception for droids. Like if you were to try and register a droid on that level as a worker, like even if there was an independent droid, like they would say, well, this droid isn't. Every droid that's authorized to be up there is already up there.
All right. So could this droid look like it? Look like one of the. I mean, he's got the disguise kit to look like an RA-7. He already looked insectoid.
Yes, if you somehow got him past the checkpoint, he would probably blend in up there. It's just the checkpoint has their security protocols, which don't allow contraband or unauthorized personnel. And any droid coming up from a lower level is marked as unauthorized personnel as a note in the employment kind of structures.
Okay, what all is not allowed up there?
So basically,
And this could
the
come
tools
from.
are already up there.
Yeah, this could come from Jaquel's notebook or whatever, because it probably has all the rules and procedures.
Yeah, so you would have your tools scanned in and approved for that level. Basically, you go through like an orientation process if it's your first time up there, and they would kind of sign you in and mark your tools as basically allowed up there, and then you would go in there in uniform, so you couldn't have like bring in your own clothes, your own armor, or whatever. You just go in there with the coveralls.
So they won't allow utility arms to help with mechanics?
I would say they probably have some kind of harness that would give you enough hard points to support a utility arm.
So we are allowed
But I
to
don't-
bring...
Just probably have to scan it as part of checking your tools.
Yeah, it's probably like issued equipment that gives you a harness that could use your utility arm.
Okay.
But that would be scanned in with your tools. So it's kind of... This is not normal security for the shipyards. This is extra Imperial measures.
Okay, and what about weapons and stuff?
Weapons are definitely contraband unless you're security personnel or Imperial military.
All right.
So basically, Jaquel has like authorization to bring a firearm up.
Okay, and then another question. What about restraining bolts?
All droids on that level are to be wearing restraining bolts.
But I mean, if I have some on my character who is a mechanic type contractor, is that something that you would expect to see in case they need a replacement restraining bolt, or is that something that's contraband?
No, that's not contraband.
Okay. Is there any reason we need a droid up there? Guys, is there any reason we need a droid with
I
us?
have that one go with me.
I can't think of
and say it's my interpreter.
Okay, well, that's on you then.
I take that droid with the deception, so it can be the interpreter droid.
So Necro has a custom blaster that has the ion coils, and it also has the component that lets it be broken down to look like non-blaster pieces that requires a 5 difficulty to detect that they're not what they look like and that they're actually a weapon. And he's also got this backpack is the one that Treads usually carries him in, so it's got a hidden compartment which also requires another 5. So Necro can sneak in his weapon, but he sucks at shooting with it. So any volunteers once we get in to use the weapon that does 10 damage, ion damage against droids, and 6 damage to non-droids.
Well, that doesn't sound too terrible. If we get into a pickle and need it, George could absolutely use that.
In fact, I'd be okay if you can knock out one of the first droids we see, and then I can drag it into a closet somewhere and reprogram it.
And considering, like, if you're getting George in the way I think you are, George would actually be authorized to carry an issue, like an Imperial issue blaster rifle.
Okay.
Well, blaster rifles aren't... I don't know. If we want the droid not be harmed, which I think is our goal, we might want to use the ion coil one I have, unless someone else has a ion blaster.
And also, like, a stormtrooper wouldn't be exposed to the same level of scrutiny, so you might be able to reasonably sneak some stuff in. on if George is carrying it, but it has to be. You have to look like a regulation stormtrooper in uniform, so it can't be like WA's disruptor rifle or anything like that.
Well, mine has the component that takes 2 hard parts that makes it look like something else. It's 5 to find it in my hidden storage compartment on my pack. So it's 5 perception. Then you got to do another 5 difficulty to recognize that these parts are not what they look like. They're actually parts for a weapon.
Yeah, you could probably just throw that in your toolbox and hide it as tools if you wanted.
Well, the hidden storage is tied to my talent. That's tied to the pack, the military pack I'm wearing.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he's not worried about. He's not worried about.
My weapon is inbuilt into my cybernetic tail. But I got that disguise thing that I get from my pack on me, so I don't even look like my character.
All right. So yeah, what's the plan going forward? You guys just gonna try and go in, put on the uniforms, and walk to the dock, kind of in plain sight?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a holo of me wearing the uniform, but I'm just gonna be wearing my normal armor.
So our backpack.
My interrogate is gonna be my interpreter droid.
All right. So there's a.
I did have one suggestion. Do we want to take at least one day, one shift of everybody going in and actually just work your shift and keep your eye out to really case the joint before we try and do any actual breaking things out?
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna get that shift fixed first. So yeah, I'll definitely be working it and get the shift fixed up as well. Maybe take extra setback or something like that to sabotage it to a way that we can take advantage of it.
So we don't have to do the bomb thing today, but if we do have a droid or 2 under our control, that would be pretty good, I think, so that they have eyes when we're not there on our shifts. And then if we run into something.
All right. So you guys want to try and do like a dry run, basically? Are you all going to try and get done at the same time, or are you going to stagger yourself across different shifts?
I think we implanted our shift data into their computer to replace the other people that were supposed to be on that shift.
Yeah, I thought that we were all going in on the same shift.
Okay.
And they have...
Catcam, are you going? Catcam, are you going as a stormtrooper or are you going as a worker?
I can go in as a stormtrooper since I already have the armor on.
All right, so you would have a lot more freedom to come and go, as long as you don't get like sucked into a fire team or a squad. Basically, like you would be, you could kind of hide in plain sight as a stormtrooper running errands, basically.
Okay, that sounds good.
So, is there any issue with bringing a repulsor lift? Because a lot of the attachments that go on armor, if they're not part of your armor, they have an encumbrance now, and so we'd have to have a way of bringing our equipment with us. So that's what I was asking: is a repulsor lift with a crate acceptable, or are they going to have utility arms built into the equipment they give us? Because the customizable armor that my guy had 6 hard points, so I don't know if any cloth armor is actually going to have 2 hard points, which is what's required for a utility arm.
Yeah, they would have like it's basically an exception that I'm building in so that you can have the utility arm. It's a harness that you wear over the jumpsuit that supports 2 hard points so that you can use your utility arm.
All right, so are they allowing us to bring our equipment in, because that stuff has an encumbrance weight when it's not equipped to you? So we have to. So am I able to bring a repulsor lift with a crate with my utility arm and my intelligent toolbox and Am I allowed to
You don't see anyone else carrying that much up.
and low
You see
bearing
people
gear?
you see people coming with like toolboxes and
How many of them are?
and maybe like
Yeah, but how many of them are silhouette 0? one strength characters.
What do you need carried?
So if they're not providing us utility, I don't know. I don't need the utility arm, but
I think going in with just a simple basic toolkit at this point, it should be fine. We're not actually trying to be super productive and fix the ship today. We're just trying to go in and work your shift and clock in and clock out and keep your eyes open. So I don't think you need a actual intelligent toolbox or a utility arm.
all right, then I'll bring.
there also is a so for like heavier gear, there are cargo lifts. They're just scanned so that like organics can't ride on them. So like if you have heavier gear, you would have it transported from the ship to the cargo lift, and it would be scanned there.
Okay, then I will have my backpack.
Let me just bring up the map. It might be a little bit. I think some of you have seen the map and some of you haven't. So I'm going to bring up the map to kind of make it a little bit clearer what I'm talking about. So this is the level that the Gozanti is on, and right here there's a large cargo lift that brings up bigger cargo from the bottom level. It's secured at the point of entry, and it's checked at the point of access. So it's kind of like trying to sneak things up there would be probably a bad idea. The Gozanti is docked right now on the 4th level of the station, the topmost level. So it's docked inside with atmosphere and all that. There are some TIE fighters also docked on that level. Those are likely going to be the TIE fighters that are assigned to this Gozanti. So, like, if you guys did a routine dry run, you would easily be able to learn all of this. The lift is the central pillar of the space station, and surrounding it are security checkpoints and locker rooms where you would be changing into your uniform and going through the checkpoint on your way out into the docks or the shipyards. So you'd have to clear the planetary defense with some Imperial troopers to get through there to the docks themselves, and then you would go and claim your if you had a crate with a large an amount of gear you couldn't carry, you'd claim it at that cargo elevator once you made it through the checkpoints.
Okay, so I will just, if they have tools there, I'll just bring my mini console.
All right, so I guess if you guys aren't doing anything else, we'll just go to where you guys are trying to get on for your first recon shift.
Okay, so yeah, I'll have my mini console and the components in my pack and a couple of the restraining bolts.
And there's a shuttle that brings you from the port to the shipyard space station, and from there you kind of head toward. You're directed toward those elevators where you check in. So I guess Jaquel would probably also have started his security shift earlier than this. So as you're kind of reaching the security checkpoint at the top of the worker lift, you see Jaquel standing guard, kind of talking to someone who seems to be instructing him on what to do. And who's coming on this trip?
And I'll have my goggles too. They're on my head. I'll just come whenever the shift was supposed to start for the original people.
Okay, and Jahat, you're actually posing as a worker right now, undercover as a ISB agent? Or are you not getting in on the worker illusion?
Yeah, I think I would actually go in on this one.
Okay.
Oh, I would have probably preemptively had to borrow a toolkit or something, or I guess we could have bought one.
He said they were there, so we don't have to bring any.
Oh, they have space. Okay, yeah. Then I'll be here with my briefcase.
So, one thing I was thinking about before this session is how rare is like having a ton of cybernetics.
I feel like it's not. I mean, super crazy. I mean, it would probably draw eyes, but not like.
And it's not restricted per se, so it might be kind of something that draws attention to you, but wouldn't necessarily get you into trouble.
I don't remember anyone giving Lobot any weird glances with his cybernetic brain implant while he was on Bespin. So,
But he was like Lando's second in command.
yeah, but
Wasn't he?
still, even new people. I mean, none of Lando or Princess Leia or any of the droids or anyone mentioned or gave him weird looks. So I'm assuming it's pretty commonplace.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would probably draw attention would be how probably expensive that would be relatively on a normal mechanic salary. But how much is the pay on this job normally? Are these like just basic laborers or what?
It varies probably. It probably goes from the most basic laborers to like the higher positions often are filled by Imperials at this particular shipyard. But there would be some that would have a little bit better gear. You notice that like not every crew has everyone with a mechanical arm. There's probably maybe in every 5 or 6 man crew, there's maybe 1 or 2 of those utility arms, and you don't see a lot of cybernetic brains up here.
Yeah, but you do see. I mean, this is Star Wars, so there's no guardrail, so people probably lose limbs all the time and have cybernetic arms and legs.
Yeah, and especially under the kind of Imperial Rush timeline, there actually have been accidents where people have had to be replaced, as you heard in the bar the other day. So yeah, you can see some people with like definitely cybernetic arms and legs, not like a ton, but you can look around and see maybe spot a couple of cyber limbs. So yeah, you guys are at the initial checkpoint. You're waved forward by a not exactly a stormtrooper. It's one of those Imperial Army troopers. Waves you forward and points over to the locker room. Says, "Go ahead and get changed." Is anyone trying to bring anything they shouldn't have?
No, I don't think so.
I'm just wearing my power armor, but like I said, it's all hidden under disguise, holographic disguise.
So yeah, he's trying to bring his armor under a hollow disguise.
All right. And did you say you were bringing your droid?
I asked. Yeah, he did say he's bringing his droid.
That droid for deception, so I can tell him when it's my interpreter.
Yeah, they say no droids. Does it look like a droid?
Yeah, it looks like one of those RA-7s. It looks like one of those. It said.
That's okay. So
Probably would have discouraged doing that.
Personal.
That's incredibly suspicious.
Yeah, sorry. Before we even ever left the house, sorry, I didn't realize you were trying to do that. We probably shouldn't try and bring a copy of like the special intelligence droid that we're trying to steal.
Yeah, that would like if it looked like an RA-7, that would be incredibly suspicious.
What kind of scanning stuff do we go through?
Yeah, that's the other problem. Is you're going to have to go through a scanner after you change into your uniforms.
That's what I'm asking. What kind of security stuff as we're going through are we looking at, so I can make notes?
You walk through a scanner coming off the lift. Would that see through a hologram?
Scanners usually tell you if they upgrade. A lot of times the scanners say they upgrade the check once or twice, depending on how big it is, but they still got to do perception versus the difficulty of whatever the person's doing it. Some things have, like the hidden compartment has a set difficulty of 5. Other things are based off of the person's stealth or skullduggery.
Yeah. So let's figure out exactly what's happening here. Are you bringing the droid?
Sorry, I was looking something up. So yeah, that's my whole thing. I said that's why he was picky. He chose to do a hologram of a race that doesn't really talk, so it can be his interpreter droid. So if I need to disguise it, then I'll have one of the other droids disguise it. That's not mouse or whatever.
So I thought Gank do talk. Do they talk?
I think so. I think they just also typically have an integrated comm link.
I thought they had the comm links in addition to being able to speak. They just use those comm links when talking to other Gank.
Oh, either that or whatever kind of, I guess.
Gamorrean. There you go. Gamorreans don't speak.
Okay.
Speak basic.
Okay. So when you get up there, what are you? So you're bringing the droid disguised as a different kind of droid?
What I need to do because you said that the RA-7 would be suspicious.
So we could bring it. We just have to we'd have to build maybe a disguise frame around it, which would also be useful because then we could throw that on another RA-7 when we steal it
and put it in there. Can we do that?
But for now.
So the information that Necro found said no droids.
The manual that Will's character got.
Yes, droids aren't allowed. The droids that are allowed are already up here.
But he thinks he wants to deceive himself through being a sweet talker is what I think I understand he wants to do, is try and get his droid to sweet talk.
The droid's going to tell him, that he's his personal interpreter droid, so that way people can understand when he talks and stuff.
Now this could raise the point that it could be an impossible check that would prevent light side points and stuff from being used in a 5 difficulty, as it is stated in the rules.
I kind of think that if they had a rule that said no droids, basically they probably wouldn't make exceptions for Gamorrean because they're Imperial soldiers.
And they probably turned him around before he got into the building.
Yeah, I think they would be more likely to just throw him out.
Okay, so I couldn't go in as a disguise, in other words, you're saying.
Not with a droid.
You'd have to disguise the droid to not look like a droid. So Ada could probably get in there.
So I could attach Sin Skin to it and make it look like a person, and then we could add that to the repertoire of it.
It would still go through a scanner?
Yeah, it would still go through a scanner.
I think that some of these things are going to get you caught, is what I'm saying.
There's not we're going to have to come up with a much better way than strolling in on the elevator to get droids up here and out of here.
Yeah, this is dry run. You probably don't want to raise any red flags, so we can take notes on their security and what to expect. So if you want to do something later and figure out the best way to sneak droids on board, we can.
Okay, so what kind of scanners are we dealing with, and what would it take to show up on the mountain so we can show it doesn't actually show everything it's supposed to show?
You have to get inside to see that. So what are you bringing?
For this first run, we should not be bringing anything restricted. We don't want to bring anything. We don't want to bring too nice of a tool set. I mean, aside from the obvious cybernetics that we can't remove. Like, we want to do everything we can to not draw attention today. We are faceless mechanics going in to do our shift and move.
Okay. I said I didn't know that we were going to go through all these scanners and stuff like that.
None of us do. That's why we're doing a dry run.
Right. Later, this is when we're gathering information now. Later, when we do want to try, we can come up with a better plan for when we're actively going to be sneaking, fucking guns and droids and stuff. But we're not doing that on this run.
All right. So are you guys just going in regular clothes, or are you still doing the armor disguise thing?
I'm wearing the standard uniforms we were given.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be my stormtrooper, so I've already got my disguise on.
All right. So one of the guards nods to you and says, "Oh, what brings you up here?" One of the Imperial soldiers. I don't know what the pecking order is for like stormtroopers and Imperial Army troopers, but there actually is a stormtrooper sergeant up here who nods to you. Yeah, can I help you?
Yeah, I was just told to make sure that all these new hires got to their correct location.
Oh, anything we should be looking out for?
Nope. I was just told to bring them up here and make sure that they arrived here.
First time up here?
Yes.
Oh, well, you should probably have a look around. What's your name, son?
AD 705, sir.
All right. He calls over one of the Imperial Army troopers and tells him to kind of show you around.
Okay, sounds good. I will follow along.
And they just kind of bring you out to the deck where the TIE fighters are, and you can see kind of the dome overhead. You can through parts of the dome you can kind of see up into space.
Okay, cool. While I'm walking around too, I'll be making kind of like mental notes of locations and things like that.
All right, yeah. So you can kind of make note of where everything is up here on the map. You can see a couple of TIE fighter pilots working on their vehicles with some technicians, kind of going through pre-flight checks and stuff. You can see a sparse few other vessels, some repulsor lifts with parts and boxes on them, and various mechanics and technicians moving around through the level, kind of getting this Gozanti ready to go. So for the rest of you guys, is everybody just kind of wearing basic gear at this point?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys kind of make it through the changing rooms, and you can see that there are some there's scanners to get off the elevator. Mainly, kind of the ones for getting off the elevator are for obvious contraband, like weapons and stuff like that. And then there's an actual kind of as you're moved through the changing rooms and security stations, there's a larger scanner at the far end with a crew kind of watching through through it to make sure that no one's bringing in various kinds of contraband.
How did we get to the thing? Did we take a shuttle? Did we take our own ships?
You took a shuttle to get here. Or at least most of the work crews do. Did you guys bring your own ship?
Yeah, is that something we can bring our own ship and land? And where would we land?
Right now, it seems like most of the landing is reserved for like vessels that are being worked on. So, like the lower levels, you can see ships docking there to get repairs and stuff like that, and there are new ships being built. It seems like the upper level that you'd be working on is exclusively Imperial ships.
The spitting Minox is registered as a taxi, so if there's a taxi lane or whatnot, the spitting Myonok could drop us off.
All right. So it seems like most of the mechanics are going up on the planetary shuttles, like the Tallaani shipyard shuttles. You can try and go with your own.
Just go the way we're able to go.
All right. Yeah. So if you go up on the Myonok, basically they kind of they dock you. They would let you off, but they don't let the ship stay there.
Yeah, well, the ship has other passengers to drop off and pick up anyway, so it would pick up any passengers that are leaving. And then take them back.
Yeah. So you guys make it through the first kind of security checkpoint day and observe as you go that there are kind of basic scanners and guards monitoring kind of traffic in and out. There are at least 4 Imperial soldiers in here kind of overseeing a number of those Tallaani military.
So, are we actually getting to work on the Gozanti?
Yeah, if you guys are registered and did you remove the other crew and replace them with yourselves?
Yep, I replaced them and they've been assigned to random other parts.
Okay, so you can see like a couple of them being like, "Oh, I guess we got reassigned," and they walk over to the area where the TIE fighters are. Some of them move over to different projects.
Some Imperial soldiers up here. Are there any obvious Imperial officers that we see during this?
I believe probably the TIE fighter pilots would be the most likely to be officers up here, but there's probably also an officer kind of overseeing the technicians, like a technical officer.
Are there any females with black hair that are officer looking, or TIE pilots without their helmets on?
Yeah, there's probably at least one woman in that crew of TIE fighter pilots.
I make a note of her face.
Okay.
All right. I guess, are we going to the Gozanti?
Yeah, that's directly north of the entryway. So they're probably like some Imperial personnel kind of stop you and check your badge or whatever. Like you're issued a badge as you come up on your first day. Another mechanic that's been up here a little bit longer is kind of guiding you through the docks. Oh, so we got a new crew, a whole new crew all at once, huh? Yeah. So this is the Gozanti. It's been up here for a while. It's getting pretty close to being complete. Does have some security on board, so just make sure that you're careful that you're not going anywhere you shouldn't be going.
Okay. Looks like I've been assigned to the bridge area.
Oh, okay. And he kind of looks through what everyone else has and tells them where they can kind of get started, and where the additional tools and kind of parts and all that are. That over here, there's kind of a supply area for this particular project.
I imagine my character would probably be doing the IT, like hooking up the computer terminals, making sure the wires are there, and then making sure the proper software, whatever's installed on them.
So the computer part itself seemed to not have a civilian tech assigned to it.
And what about the networking?
The networking throughout the ship, possibly, yeah. There would be like the software part would be restricted, a restricted job.
Okay, but the hooking, making sure the consoles and everything are hooked up, and the ones that are supposed to communicate with each other are hooked up, and all that stuff, is that grunt work, or are Imperials going to do that?
No, you could do that as grunt work. Like installing
IT.
hardware.
Yeah, hard drives, hooking up the network, organizing the network cables, making sure that the right computers that are supposed to communicate with each other are, making sure that the satellite dish is connected to the right computer, the sensors, the
Yes,
scanners.
that's all. That's all stuff you'd be able to do as a civilian.
My character will be making note of all the different ports that slicing gear can attach to.
Okay.
And then,
So basically, there is a Gozanti map. Do you guys do? Is everyone going into the Gozanti?
I will be. That's where I assigned everyone to the Gozanti, so.
Okay, I wasn't sure if some people are going to be working on the outside or the inside. Also, Jahat, roll a perception, just kind of a easy perception roll.
I'm good at these. Oof. Wow, really?
Oh,
I don't think I have anything that would give me a bonus on that. Unless scanner goggles would help.
Are they perception tools?
Yeah, not really.
yeah. So you don't notice anything in particular, or at least not the thing I was thinking you might notice. So yeah, there's like a catwalk built with some steps in it that kind of goes up to one of the exterior doors of the vehicle as a means of access. And if nobody else is anyone else doing anything on the dock, or are we moving the map into the Gozanti for now?
Jahat's going to try and spend as much of his shift as he can, or just kind of throughout his shift, he's going to try and make a little bit of contact with some of the officers up here. And he'll excuse me, sir, I have a question. And then once he gets closer, he'll kind of drop the secondary facade and kind of introduce himself.
All right. So yeah, you can see like there's an NCO, the stormtrooper sergeant. There's the officer who seems to be in charge of the Imperial technicians, a more technical officer, and then there's the squadron of TIE fighter aces.
Right. Yeah. So just kind of separately throughout the day as he can, he'll try and approach them.
All right. So yeah, you. Which one are you going to approach first, or does it not really matter?
I think probably the technical officer is probably the first one he'll encounter.
All right. So that's like an older human male standing off to the side with a data pad, kind of people coming and going, or kind of managing the little details that all the Imperial technicians are working on. So he's moving around between locations, between the Gozanti and the TIE fighters. And the various supply caches.
Okay, well, I guess in that case, he'd probably like try and approach the technical officer and then bring him over to the TIE pilots and try and talk to all of them at the same time.
Okay, so you walk up to him. Yes, can I help you?
Yes, sir. I was looking for. Look, can you look at it's on this pad here.
Yes. What is it? Very busy.
Good afternoon or morning, I guess it is. My name is Jax Cannon, Lieutenant Jax Cannon, ISB. Just keep your tone down. Pretend you're looking at. I'm showing you some very interesting things on this data pad. Blah blah blah. Of course. We're investigating, following up some possible leads here. Obviously, nothing you've done. Well, I'm assuming nothing you've done. Kind of gives them a little bit of a joking, suspicious eye squint.
So roll like a
if
2 purple deception. Oh, yes. Well, how can I be of, or what can I help you with? Where can I direct you?
Well, firstly, my cover here is that I'm just a simple mechanic working on the Gozanti, but possibly it would help add a little bit of credence to my cover if you can help me with maybe an assignment that lets me move around the docks a little bit more freely. Um, because well, I can't give you too much detail yet, of course, but as I get more information, I'm hoping to bring you in on my investigation. Um, and obviously, as soon as anything actually involves you further, we'll absolutely bring you in on this. Um, but I just wanted to make contact. Well, obviously, there's Tallaani everywhere, and they're just can't approach them the same way I can good trusted Imperials. So I was hoping to at least meet with you here now, and if you wouldn't mind helping me pull maybe the TIE pilots aside and have a word with them, just so obviously everyone's somewhat aware of the potential dangers going on right now.
Yes, I think that the best position to give you more access, it's actually one of the lower positions. I would assign you as a runner, and you would be basically running back and forth between various departments, carrying files or parts or whatever. But if I introduce you to the leadership, you can always just drop their name if you're being pulled aside to do something that interferes with your investigation. Just say you're running an errand for. I forgot what I did. I give the TIE fighter pilot that you met a name?
You did not.
All right, so you would just say that you're working for Commander Reaver, or one of his pilots, in order to, evade being grabbed, or Sergeant Stone, the commander of the Imperial garrison here, or
Okay, that would be perfect. And I didn't do it this time because I obviously was trying to avoid drawing any attention before I had a chance to meet with you, because we are, due to the Tallaani presence, we are trying to keep a little bit of this a little more under the radar. Otherwise, I would have brought you in on this a little bit earlier. It shouldn't be an issue if I bring scanning equipment up here, or will I need any special permissions to do that?
Yes, we could have it marked, or just let Sergeant Stone know in advance, and they could hand wave that for you.
Okay, that'll be extremely helpful. Thank you so much. Because potentially one of the issues we have, we don't have anything solid yet, but there could be some potential Tallaani interference, or I hate to use the word sabotage, but um, obviously I think they were hoping to have this ship finished well before now.
Do you believe there's a credible threat, or we've run a pretty tight dock up here so far?
Oh, please don't take it the wrong way. I don't believe it's anything that you're doing wrong. But well, I'm not in
And
the.
he would have introduced himself as Commander Fallon.
I'm not in the business of making anything more than educated guesses. So at this point, I only have the gut that's saved my life multiple times to trust. But as I said, as soon as I have anything concrete, we will bring collective might of the Empire down on anyone who would dare try to interfere.
All right. Well, that sounds good. And he kind of shows you around, introducing you to the TIE pilot and the the sergeant of the stormtroopers kind of bringing you aside to each of them and letting them kind of know that you're here on official business without kind of tipping that to any of the other people that shouldn't know.
Right. So while he's doing that, we can go back to the rest of the crew.
All right, so yeah, you guys are able to get onto the Gozanti, and the level that you entered into, I believe, is that the middle level?
No, that it goes first, second, third. So the first floor is how you enter, and then the second floor is where the bridges, and third floor is where the crew quarters are.
Okay, and it looks like primarily the third or the second floor is like bridge and mess hall maybe.
The communications. Yep.
And then the top floor looks like living quarters. So most of what you need to do is in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like mostly cargo down on the first floor, right? Like cargo hold.
Yep.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's probably empty or not very much. Weapons, speeder bikes, stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's a fairly easy thing. It's probably mostly complete already. And the bay doors on the bottom are open at this point, so you can kind of see down to the dock through them. You can see that there are a few security droids to the right as you enter. I don't know if actually is that a door that blocks the vision?
Yeah, unless you want it open, it's up to you.
I don't know how to open it. Can it be open?
Yeah, on dynamic lighting, see, you can move it like that.
Yeah, so you can kind of see through there that there are a few droids. 4 droids to be specific. There is a single droid kind of roaming through the central area.
All right, I guess I take this turbo lift up.
No, my map went all weird. Oh, it keeps going away.
All right, so I'm on the middle map now.
Is everyone's map doing funky stuff, or is it just me?
I got dynamic lighting on. I can turn off dynamic lighting if that's easier.
No, I think it was just like my screen kept refreshing or something. I don't know. The map kept going away completely.
Oh.
I think I'm good now. It stopped doing that.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you go up through the lift. You can see that there are a couple of droids on the level where the. Okay, you went through that lift. That's at the front. So yeah, you can see back through that there is a pair of droids standing in the middle of that deck. I think that's the communications area. And there is I put that KX series in there because I couldn't find a RA-7. So you actually do see an RA-7 standing there.
Okay. Is it doing anything, or is it charging, or what?
Actually, it should be. It's actually it seems to be working on a terminal.
Okay. Does it ignore me?
Yeah. Or actually, it would probably just check your badge as you walked past.
There you go.
Continue.
Is my badge a badge, or does it use a code cylinder and put it into a data pad device to check my credentials? What's it used to check credentials?
It's probably just something like, even if it is like a digital thing, it's something that can be worn because you'd be able to display it while your hands are busy. You know, like someone could come and check your badge while you're working without you having to stop working.
So does he have a scanner that he inserts the badge into? to verify that the badge is, or is it just
No, he just he just checks the badge.
okay? Does he have any scanning equipment on him?
Visible, no.
Okay.
Right now, he just seems to be like typing on the terminal.
Okay. All right. So this is probably where I'm supposed to be, between here and the bridge, checking all their consoles.
And there you can see those two droids that are kind of guarding this level.
All right. Can I see where the last person left off with installing stuff? Are there computers
Yeah,
and
you
boxes
can-
that need to be installed, or what am I looking at doing for today's duties?
Yeah, it looks like they kind of left their work as it was when they went off shift. So there's definitely probably a half finished console or a half finished port, and then like some stuff to get started on the next one.
Is there a computer that we check positions for and updates and log what you did for the day and what the previous person did for the day before I start the shift, so I kind of know what's expected to be done before my shift today to be on schedule?
Yeah, I would say that probably each team has some sort of like data pad that they're issued.
Okay, are we given a code cylinder to use to check in, or how do they mark that people actually show up for their shift and do what they're supposed to and that they are?
I'd say the badge probably doubles as that. It's just kind of like wearable.
And this is the badge they gave us, right?
And has a visible. Yeah, the badge they gave you, it has like a visible display of your credentials, and then it also can be like scanned.
Okay. All right, so what did I see the last people did? What still needs to be done? What's their time frame for doing it? I don't want to do the work too fast, I want to do it right on schedule and not draw any suspicion.
Yeah, you can definitely I mean, I would say that with your kind of ability, you'd know that to not get it done too fast, you'd have to lag a little bit.
Okay, is there any okay, so about what percentage of this is operational as far as this communications room?
The communications seem to be probably 80 to 90% operational. As the from what you've seen so far, the project seems to be about between 80 and 90% complete.
What do I need to do to identify what type of systems they are?
What specifically are you kind of looking for?
So I know there's probably communications on here, security. It'd be good to get an idea what might actually indicate fire suppressors, like if there's a fire on board, what's, just identify, just reading the warning buttons and stuff to get an idea of what different control. That's what my character, in between working, he wants to spend time making mental notes about what type of computer systems are already hooked up and ready to go versus what needs to be repaired, and kind of have an idea what they do, so he knows the best what type of computer spikes to create for different systems, so they would be within the parameters of what they're supposed to do. So
okay, so like as you're examining the systems, one thing you notice kind of right off the bat is that nothing back here is powered up.
okay.
You do notice that it does seem to, even like stuff that's complete isn't powered up. Doesn't seem to be even like there may be a cutoff before the power gets here, where the power to this section is not currently active.
Okay, and okay, so I'm assuming they haven't loaded into the databases or any of that stuff yet. So that's, if they're not powered up yet, they probably haven't done any of that yet. All right, so my character will do his job, and he'll make notes of the different systems. Kind of have like he has a data pad, so he'll make little notes as far as cross-referencing what needs to be done and what is done, and then he can check what he did for today for his personal notes, so nothing suspicious, and then indicate what system it is that he worked on, so he has that and doesn't look suspicious if anyone's checking his data pad before he leaves.
All right, and real quick, because I think we're almost out of time. Does anyone else have anything specific they want to get done before the end of the session? We got some Destiny points out there. Does anyone want to? And we can handle some of this in the Discord as well, if we're too pressed for time. But I know Cat Cam and Guyver haven't talked in a while. So do you guys have anything you want to do while we're here?
Probably just do my job and see how well I do at it.
Okay. Are you
Yeah,
kind of like trying to be a hot shot, like impress people?
I guess, yeah.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and roll and see if you can like wow the people there and kind of build that kind of reputation for yourself. And what were you doing, Cat Cam?
I was just gonna say I was just gonna kind of just walk around and see where I can get access to things at, being in my suit without causing any trouble, and also just kind of making mental notes about things that I see that I think maybe might come in handy when we come back to do our thing tomorrow.
All right. Yeah. So you're able to kind of get pretty good access around the space station. The only thing that kind of limits you is every once in a while someone wearing like a lieutenant rank or higher kind of grabs you and sends you off on an errand. So basically, you can kind of they don't really question you as long as you're not like messing around with stuff. Like if you like tried to get into a TIE fighter, they'd probably stop you, or if you like started taking things apart. But if as long as you're just walking around, they don't seem to question you all that much. There are other stormtroopers out here, and you kind of just blend in plain sight.
All right. Does this count as constructing this thing, or are we fixing this machine? What are we doing with this thing?
Just kind of like you could do like a 3 purple check and you could use your kind of advantage to maybe impress people that with your technical expertise.
All right. So is this machine under construction then?
Yes.
Probably do the expanded mechanics tools.
My rank's an inventor then, correct?
What's up?
So I can use my ranks in enter then, correct?
What's that do?
Constructing new items or modifying existing attachments, add blue dice or remove black dice per rank of inventor.
Is he? I guess he's asking if he's repairing or building from scratch.
Yeah, this is a new item technically, so you could use that.
Was it supposed to be mechanics?
Come on.
Yeah, it would be mechanics.
That was even better.
So yeah, you might be able to use something from the expanded mechanics chart or the engineering base checks chart or even use those to kind of gain boosts on later checks.
So you said all the computer components are turned off or not powered up yet? Is that what you said? Even the bridge?
Not all of them, because the RA-7 was actually working on a computer terminal.
Okay.
It seems like maybe access to the terminals is being restricted.
So he's gonna on his data pad make a note in kind of a makeshift map of what is on and put a check mark next to it, so it looks like complete or done or being worked on. Some type of like innocuous marking that looks like a check mark, and maybe a word or two that kind of identifies what system it's for.
Yeah, and like everything in this area is powered down from some cutoff beyond this point. The thing the RA-7's working on is powered up. You'd have to go through a door, I think, to get to the bridge. Do you want to just walk into the bridge?
Yeah.
The bridge does seem to have power, but the RA-7 is kind of leaning back and watching you at this point.
Okay. And on the instructions, was anything in the bridge marked to be fixed or hooked up or networked?
It actually looks like the bridge is just about 100% done mechanically.
All right. So then he marks down the different consoles and puts a check mark to it. And it's like, looks like everything in here is pretty much wrapped up.
So with that advantage, I don't see anything other than to use it to reduce tree essentials. So for every advantage, I save 25 credits per thing. So I guess showing how efficient I can work and how well I can do, just pretty much showing off.
Okay. So yeah, you like the other someone from one of the other crews kind of notices and like starts talking to his buddies about, wow, this new guy's he's a real hotshot.
Would be better if I could have my droid up here. Any idea how I can get one up here?
They don't. The guys that work with droids, they had to leave them up here, and nobody's brought up another droid since. They went pretty thoroughly through every single droid on this level, and they're not allowing new ones up. From what I heard, they even disassembled some of them just to look, make sure there's nothing hidden in them.
Oh, there's some disassembled lying around here.
No, they put them back together.
All right. I've got
So all the droids able to be utilized for stuff, or are they someone else's, or what is it?
They're either like Imperial security droids, or there are some droids that are like load lifters, and there are a few droids that are doing technical work, but they're all like active.
It's 5 o'clock. I've got to get going.
All right, so yeah, we can end it there. Yeah, if you guys want to chime in with anything else you would have been doing on the shipyard, go ahead and put it in Discord, and we'll consider that we'll end the dry run here too, and kind of move on to the next step next time.
And what's that experience?
Yeah, we'll do 10 experience for today.
Okay, cool. So you guys, did you need to do a conflict roll or anything for Jahat?
I don't think you did anything particularly illegal, so yeah, just roll your d10 in Discord. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right, thank you. I'll see you next week.
Later.
See ya.